Michael Cera opens up about fatherhood and his desire to make a kids' movie for his sons. Known for his quirky, deadpan humor and standout roles in cult favorite films like Superbad, Juno, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and the hit series Arrested Development, Michael Cera has long captured audiences with his understated charm. But off-screen, the Canadian actor leads a far quieter life, especially when it comes to his personal and family affairs. Now 36, Cera is not only a celebrated actor but also a father of 2 young boys with his wife Nadine. While the couple has remained exceptionally private, rarely making public appearances and rarely discussing their relationship, Cera has recently begun to share more about his life at home and his experiences as a dad. In a recent episode of People in 10, Cera made a rare public statement about his children, expressing his interest in potentially creating a project specifically with them in mind. "It does make me want to maybe do some kind of sweet kids movie that my kids would like," he shared. "Just because it'd be fun to watch." For Cera, whose roles have typically skewed toward indie dramedies or sharp-witted comedies, the idea of developing a film for a younger audience marks a new, heartfelt direction inspired by his role as a parent. The actor's remarks reflect a broader shift in his priorities. Cera admits that fatherhood has had a transformative effect on how he approaches his career, his time, and his outlook on life. In a 2023 interview with The Hollywood Reporter, he opened up about how being a dad has changed his perspective. "I think the only thing that it affects is that you just want to spend as much time with them as possible," he said. "So when I was 20, I would have been way happier to go off to some weird city and live in a hotel for 3 months. And when you have kids, you want to be with your family. And you miss them a lot." That longing for togetherness is part of why the idea of a children's movie holds so much appeal to him now. Creating a film that his kids can watch, and one that they can enjoy together as a family, seems like a natural progression for Cera as both an artist and a father. It's a sentiment that many working parents can relate to, wanting to bridge their professional lives and personal lives in meaningful, joyful ways. While Cera has not revealed much about his sons publicly, it's clear that fatherhood is now one of the most central parts of his life. In fact, the world only found out about his first child when his Life and Beth co-star Amy Schumer accidentally revealed the news during a joint interview in March 2022. In a moment that became instantly memorable, Schumer casually mentioned, "Michael has a baby too," before catching herself and asking, "Is that public knowledge?" I just outed him, I just outed his baby." Cera, taking it all in stride, confirmed the news to Entertainment Tonight, saying with a smile, "We're right at the beginning of it. We're doing the very basics right now." Just days later, he spoke with Extra, offering a few more details. "He's just a little 6-month-old baby," Cera said at the time, referring to his son with Nadine. Since then, Cera and Nadine have welcomed a second child. While their exact ages remain private, Cera did share in 2023 that his older son was only a year and a half old and hadn't yet seen any of his father's work. Still, he hinted at plans to eventually introduce him to some animated projects. "I have a couple of animated movies," he said, suggesting that when the time comes, there will be age-appropriate ways to share his career with his children. Despite being in the public eye for over 2 decades, Michael Cera has always been an actor who shies away from celebrity culture. He's known for walking red carpets only when necessary, avoiding social media entirely, and choosing his projects carefully. That same discretion extends to his home life. His relationship with Nadine has been so low-key that many fans only discovered he was married when the couple was spotted wearing wedding bands in 2018. Even now, nearly a decade into their relationship, the two remain nearly invisible to the public, something that appears to be a very conscious decision to protect their family's privacy. Still, in recent interviews, fans are catching rare glimpses of a softer, more personal side of the actor. Whether he's talking about missing his children while filming, or brainstorming the idea of creating a sweet kids movie to watch with them, it's clear that Cera's current focus is firmly on fatherhood. While there's no official word on whether that kids movie will happen, or what it might look like, fans can only imagine what kind of gentle, clever, and heartfelt storytelling Cera could bring to the world of children's entertainment. Given his unique voice and talent for balancing humor with emotion, a family-friendly film from Michael Cera would likely be a delightful experience for both kids and adults alike. And while his children may be too young now to fully appreciate the legacy of their father's work, one day they'll be able to look back and see just how much of his heart he poured into both his career and his family.